Please.
Thank you, sir. So, I haven't filled up this.
Okay.
Okay, you will do it later.
You will fill up it and give it after.
Should I input?
Please, your good name?
My good name is ROSNI MISHRA.
Sushri.
ROSNI.
Roshni.
ROSNI MISHRA. I am from Cuttack. I have done my schooling from DAV Public School up to the 12th standard, after which I did my graduation from College of Agriculture, OUAT Bhubaneswar. Then on I pursued my masters from the same college, OUAT Bhubaneswar. And currently I have been preparing for these exams. Last year I had qualified for the interview of OCS interview. I had qualified last year, but I could not. I fell short by 8 marks, and this year again I went up to the interview round.
Your option is agriculture.
Agriculture, sir. Yes, sir.
How much you got in the interview?
I had got 150 in the interview.
150.
Yes, sir.
Out of 250.
Out of, yes, I think that was the full mark.
Okay. Full mark means what do you mean? Maximum.
Sir, yes, I had secured 150, and I do not exactly remember what was the full mark. I guess it was 250.
250. So obviously you have not had your lunch.
I have had my lunch.
Would you like to have some water?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're all right?
Yes.
Okay. So good. Any specialization in agriculture?
I have pursued masters in agriculture, agricultural statistics to be specific.
Agriculture statistics.
Statistics to be specific.
Strategies.
Statistics.
Statistics. Okay. Good. So, what are your option was of course agriculture. Then, what are your special interests and hobbies?
Sir, I like listening to music, and at times I like reading online novels.
Online novels. What is the latest you have read?
Sir, I read it from a platform called Wattpad. I don't think it is that well known, but I do it just to relax and pass my time.
What is it that you last read? Was it a fiction or what? That's a novel?
I do it to relax, so I generally prefer reading fictions.
Fiction. So what is the last fiction that you read?
Sir, it is not a very...
Doesn't matter. Let it be out of the ordinary.
Yes, sir.
It's an ordinary one or
It's a very ordinary one. I mean, very normal people write on the platform. It's not written by very renowned authors. Sir, it was Mommy's House, The Truth About Mommy.
Mommy. Oh, good.
It was a psychological thriller. That's what I read.
Can you sum up the story briefly?
Sir, it's been some time, but I will try to summarize it. Sir, Mommy was she was a bit psychologically she was a psycho lady kind of sort, and she used to kidnap these really young children. She used to think that these are her children, and she would then kidnap them. And she had kidnapped. She had kidnapped and kept them captive in her house. And then following which the children used to struggle how to come out of it, and with a lot of struggle, and at last they killed the mommy to come out of the house. And the story follows in between. And the second part is the truth about mommy, where they get to know that why the lady became mad, or why was she psychologically ill. That's what.
Why did she become psychologically ill?
Sir, I do not remember why, but she was that kind from the beginning.
She had no family of her own.
She had
no children of her own, obviously.
She had, I think she had a family of her own, but I think her kid died due to some mishap, but she was like that as far as I remember.
Incidentally, Roshni, in the economic survey, they say there is this mental health issues have been dealt in the economic survey. Is it true?
From what I have read, I recently read the economic survey. There was a thing called about scrolling and about using the mobile and the effect it has on people and mostly young children.
What we get to understand is there is probably there is an understanding, a recognition that mental health is also a part of the overall health.
Yes, sir.
So far it has been there, but it was dealt separately as distinct and separate from the overall health. Probably of late at the WHO level and also here as a part of that, there is a recognition. No, you can't disintegrate. It's in one integral whole. The physical health and the mental health.
Yes, sir.
And in the wake of that recognition, universal recognition, we have to provide for mental health also and use the same infrastructure as best as we can.
Yes,
that kind
sir.
of thing. So, but you remember the story. Therefore, coming to talk about mental health, how important, Roshni, you think is mental health?
Sir, I think mental health in today's scenario and from every time, but I think probably in today's world scenario when loneliness and depression, when people are preferring to stay alone or being occupied with their mobiles and highly competitive careers, I believe that mental health and physical health are both integrated.
Absolutely.
So if we care for the mental health, that will convert into physical health, and physical health ultimately converts into GDP or otherwise the human resource development. I think it is very, very essential. If you are not mentally perfect, mentally fine, you cannot function if that is that severe or even with a minor problem of sort.
We would think that's a very perceptive answer from you, Roshni. Now, at the same, okay, since you have answered it, and just as a collateral, I'm asking the question. You know, Abhaya, it is not her real name, but they have given it the name Abhaya.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
talking about, collateral,
Yes,
isn't it? Is there a depression angle? Is there a mental health issue so far as Abhaya is concerned? Have you been following that story or you didn't have time?
I have been following.
You have been following it.
Yes, sir.
Do you think there is a possibility that Abhaya was mentally ill? I'm told in one of those, the mother also spoke of late Abhaya had been mentally depressed in the hospital.
Sir, I do not exactly know. You are talking about the victim being mentally depressed. Sir, I do not exactly know if Abhaya...
No, it is not very prominent. It has not come into the main discourse and discussions. But the other lateral view is, yes, she was depressed, maybe a lot of work, overload of work, and we don't know because she comes from a very poor family. We are told that the father is a tailor,
Yes, sir.
basically. Though of late they have acquired a car. But do you think that could be an angle that we should explore?
Yes, sir, that definitely can be an angle because as the statistics quote, that as WHO recommends that the doctor-patient ratio ideally should be 1:1000. For every 1000 patients, there should be one doctor. But in India, it's different. It is 1:834 from what I have read. And the workload in government hospitals as such is very much. So it could have affected her mental health.
One more question, though on the same subject, slightly different. Why do you think Kolkata is still in an agitational mode? Because we discovered the death of Abhaya on 9th August, today the 29th, 20 days have passed. High Court is in the picture, Supreme Court of India is in the picture, State Police is there, CBI has come into picture, ED has come into the picture. What more we want? Why are we still agitating over a single death? Not that I am trivializing the matter, not at all. It's a serious matter, but all said and done, it is a simple murder case. Maybe rape is a rape and murder.
Yes, sir.
It is not as though this is the only rape and murder case occurring in India. If you look at the statistics, there are any number of them. Are we giving a disproportionate attention to a single murder rape case and then wasting so much time? With due respect to the departed soul.
Yes, sir.
You get the point. So what are your thoughts as a future administrator?
Sir, I firmly believe that there is no, there are no two doubts that it is not a wastage of time because an injustice anywhere, I believe, is a threat to justice everywhere. The woman was in her work premises. She would have believed that she is the most secure there. Before being an administrator, if I will be in the future, I am a lady. And
Rashmi, just to provoke you, are we not elitist? Are there not any number of, as an old policeman I can tell, are there not on a daily basis, any number of deaths, including rapes, take place? Because it's a PG, it's a professional. So we are giving, can we afford to give so much attention? And if we are talking about justice, it is not as though justice is the preserve of, I would now call her an elitist, because all of a sudden she was a doctor, a postgraduate student, all right, but a doctor. A doctor, PG card medical college, so high profile. There can be any number of corpses found undetected, unknown. We don't give attention. Are we not committing the sin of being elitist, Rashmi? I charge you with being elitist in your outlook.
no, sir, I'm not being elitist. Maybe this case has received attention because of its elite profile, but I believe that if we set a precedence here, that if any such kind of injustice is committed, then this is going to be the punishment.
The risk of taking more time, I want to engage you deeper on this. What more do they expect? The agitating people, they call them students or even parties. What do they expect? What more institutions can come to grips with the issue? Police, DGP, Chief Secretary, Chief Minister herself, and then the High Judicature of West Bengal, and then Supreme Court Suvamoto taking cognizance, the Solicitor General of India, the Home Minister, everybody has come to grips with the issue. And on top of it, they have already gone and arrested a man, and he is there, he has confessed to his crime, and he says he is the only one. I am talking about Sanjay Roy. And even the principal himself, he has lost his membership, he has lost his registration, and he has been grilled for the 7th day running, polygraph test, this and that. What more do you expect? What is the meaning of justice?
Sir, I think by justice they mean accountability, they mean reassurance that the government is held accountable. If the people question, it is a democracy, and a democracy is for the people.
And the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal says, if it comes to us within 7 days, we will conclude the trial and hang him. And they are going to bring a bill in West Bengal legislature, says yes, death for the rapist. What more do you expect from me? That is what the Chief Minister is asking. We are talking about democracy, constitution, demarcation of division of powers. You won't believe your state police. Now you are not believing the CBI. You are not, and this is Supreme Court monitor. Are we not drifting towards anarchy like it happening in West Bengal? When you lose faith in institutions, you lose faith in the executive, judiciary, legislature. No, we are not going to believe in it. We will go on agitating.
Sir, anarchy, I don't think it is. Agitation, I can believe it is.
How long? My question is fine.
And sir, to support the people's movement, there have been more evidences to it. The people are not willing to believe that there was just a single person involved.
Precisely. Because I am deliberately using that, because mob thinks that there is more than one, and therefore you expect the state police and the CBI, because the people believe, okay, I am just leaving that word mob, because you people think that there are more than one, my God, why don't you take up the power yourself? Catch hold of 5-6 people, or to your heart's content, 100 people, and hang them like in the Arabian countries. That will be justice. Very demonstrative justice, Rashmi.
Sir, demonstrative.
Tomorrow you may be incidentally, are you in the police? Have you offered police as an option?
No,
I don't,
sir.
but given, would you like to be a police officer?
Sir, I think
You won't.
I
You are hesitating. The point is, democracy means robust institutions. So we also do not believe in institutions. State police, fine. And we are talking about cooperative federalism. When you do even a simple murder and rape case all said and done, you are not interested, then what will they do, state police? They will only take pension and go, salary and go.
No, sir.
At some stage you have to believe, because faith should be taken for granted. Okay, I leave it there. Sorry.
Okay, Rosni, you had appeared interview last time. What was your score? Interview.
My score, sir, I do not remember the marks, but whatever was the qualifying mark, I was short of it by 8 marks.
But you didn't know actually how
1000
much you got.
something.
No, what is the Viva scoring?
Viva scoring is 150.
150. It's a good scoring.
I would like to believe so.
Yes. Okay. I would like to know the most difficult question asked in that Viva board. Tell me. What
Sir,
was
it
that
was a
most
very
difficult
cordial
question?
board. So that previous board,
Yes.
sir, I was a little nervous because it was my first interview, but the board was, in all truth, it was very cordial. It was a very cordial board, and I was asked very general questions. So as such, I faced little to no difficulty, and wherever I faced, they were quite ready to help.
But out of that anything that you remember, tell us a question that is most difficult for you in your scaling.
Most difficult one. Maybe when they asked me about the scientific name of mushrooms, it had skipped
Scientific
my mind.
name of mushroom, because you are an agriculture student.
Yes.
Yes. You couldn't tell.
At that point of time, I was not able to remember.
Okay. What is hydroponics?
Hydroponics is cultivating plants with the use of water and without the use of soil, in nutrient medium without the use of soil.
Is it in practice?
Sir, it is in practice, but I think in some developed cities like that of Pune, it is in practice where some entrepreneurs are doing it, and it is sold at a relatively higher price. But as such, in common practice, it is not there. It is still in a developing stage.
It is an evolving stage.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why the Green Revolution didn't find much impact in South India?
Yes, sir. So Green Revolution.
Although the father of Green Revolution was from
MS
South
Swaminathan.
India.
Yes, sir. Sir, it did not because, sir, it came in the 1960s, and the concentration was in some water consuming crops like rice, wheat, all these things. And rice, wheat traditionally so have been grown in the North Indian states of Punjab, Haryana, in all these states. I think that is why it could not reach up to those areas where rice, wheat, these are not primarily cultivated as such. So I think that will be one of the reasons. And also the Green Revolution ushered in the use of these HYV seeds. HYV seeds in general, even for the north people as such also, it is difficult for the farmers to procure. So to utilize the benefits of the Green Revolution has been a little difficult. Also because of other factors, but I think primarily because of this, that it was concentrated in just rice and wheat, primarily.
Okay, why there is a shifting of sugar cultivation from north to south?
So because of the climatic conditions in
Means
south,
climate changed over the period of time for which sugar has changed?
from north to south. Sir, I think in
Once upon a
north,
time, North India was dominating in sugar production. But now no more North India is in the
UP is still there.
sugar production, but they are not the leading states.
They are not the leading
And
states.
where there was no sugar, now they are the leading states in south.
Sir, North India has tropical climate, and tropical sugar cane has more amount of sucrose, which converts to more amount of sugar. But also there is this one problem not problem but opportunity as such in Uttar Pradesh, that the sugar cane is not just being cultivated for sugar production, it is being used for ethanol as well. So I think that is why maybe also the sugar production has comparatively decreased. But also the climate in South India, which is more favorable, that could have been one of the factors.
Okay. I think
What do you know about globalization?
So globalization is like all the culture of here or the technology of one place being globalized everywhere, reaching to everywhere. It is no more just localization. The world is a small village that stems out of the fact that globalization.
What is liberalization then?
So liberalization is liberalizing the economy, allowing more FDI, foreign direct investment. It is not just restrictive trade policies. It is moving towards a more liberalized world where we go into the world and they also come into our economy.
And then what is privatization?
So privatization also stems out of the fact of globalization and liberalization, where the companies, like in India it was previously more of the PSUs, but then it moved towards the private sector because the private sector can invest more, and there is also a saying that the government has no job in to be in the business. So not exactly that, but
How much privatization in education has affected the common people in India?
so the KIT University of Bhubaneswar, it is being really so. So I think privatization is a very, very good opportunity. The government can only do so much, but the investments, the large scale investments, the large, today we are willing to bring in the foreign faculties as of the national education policies. That all of that cannot just be possible with the government. The investments have to come in, and that capital has to be brought in by the private sector.
What is the negative impact of privatization of education?
So as such, I do not believe if we are not able to monitor it, that might be a negative impact. For example, we are trying to bring foreign faculties, or we are trying to give the autonomous status to the universities. But if you are not able to put a cap on the fees, then the common people, the middle class of India, which is a major chunk of the Indian economy, would not be able to take advantage of it. So while we are trying to bring in the private universities, there has to be some monitor, some control over it. They cannot be just left to it cannot be just left to them.
Do you agree for privatization of railway in India?
Yes, sir, I do agree.
What for?
Sir, because of the privatization of railways, because sir, it will again bring in the investments. Again, the government, it cannot do everything on its own. We are targeting the high speed railway networks or the bullet trains. In a country like India, where we have n number of different priorities, somebody has to come in and fill in the place so that there will be more development in the railway sector. We need different we need the elimination of different difficulties that are there in the railway sector, and for that I believe firmly that private sector has to come in. Again, monitors has to be placed.
Can you tell me the impact of globalization on women? Positive, negative, both. How it has impacted women, especially maybe in India?
Sir, I think globalization, one impact has been that women have been more enabled to go out and make a place for them. But again, the care economy, it is majorly dependent on women. So all the women are going out and they are working up. Because of globalization, we see a boost in the industries and we see a boost in the female labor participation ratio. But also the care economy is still dependent on women. The expectation of women has also been twice. They have to support the family and they also have to go and work. So it is burdening the women. I think that is one case. And when they go out to work, like suppose they have to return late at nights, so there has to be provisions for it. It is not just about opportunities, but how well we utilize the opportunities and how safe the women are. I think safety is a question, and also if they are burdened or not, if they are relaxed or not, that has also to be a priority.
How globalization affected tribal people?
So globalization has affected tribal people. Again, it is both positive and negative. Industries have mining happening there or industries happening there, but again the tribal people are the indigenous people. They stay there, and in different reports, even in the case of climate change, we are again being very, very dependent on the indigenous people because of the ethnobotany. They know many things related to there. Our culture is dependent on them because we have been in the line of the development, so they are preserving the culture. So if more and more globalization happens there, more and more industries happen there, what about the cultural erosion that is taking place?
And
So
displacement also.
the displacement, the development induced displacement, that is also a major factor. Rehabilitation of tribal people.
Can development and displacement go hand in hand?
I do not understand.
You see, this is a major issue.
Yes, sir.
you have to have development.
Yes,
And
sir.
if you go for development, displacement has to take place.
Yes, sir.
Because you need mines,
Yes,
you
sir.
need roads, you need railways, you need like POSCO. POSCO couldn't happen here. You need multinational coming here, and then development and displacement. Without displacement, you cannot have these type of developments.
Yes, sir.
So, how to address it? Can global development and displacement go hand in hand? That is my question.
So for the long-term vision, it has to go hand in hand. There are no other ways about it. One way would be to provide the tribal people. They are mostly dependent on forest for their livelihood. One way would be to, first would be the rehabilitation, and other way would be to provide them with alternative sources of livelihood, or whatever development is happening there, they have to be made a part of it.
Rehabilitation and resettlement.
Resettlement, yes sir, that has to be there. They have to be made a part of the development. They have to be given some employment. They cannot be just left that way.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So, anything?
Yeah. So, since you have already faced the real board, OPSC, incidentally, are you taking UPSC?
I am planning to take.
How old are you?
I am 29.
Huh?
I am 29. There are 2 chances left, but I still have hope that.
No,
Is he not 35? Around 31 only?
No, I am 29.
No. Chances of to which age limit क्या है?
The upper age limit is 32, 31 plus.
And it was enhanced to 35 for pandemic, or it is and during normal time it is not.
I do not know. For the unreserved
pandemic
category.
ବେଳେ
it is.
ବଢ଼ା ହେଇଥିଲା।
Pandemic ବେଳେ ବଢ଼ା ହେଇଥିଲା।
हाँ, pandemic बड़े बड़े थे।
Pandemic ବେଳେ ତ even OAS ରେ ତ ବଢ଼େଇ ଦେଇଥିଲେ 38 for anyway, it's a good answer. You stand a very good chance. I will conclude.
So, we think you're very good. And last time you got 150. Did you expect more? Or you
Out
were-
of the interview, I did not.
No, so that is.
It was my first interview. I had no expectations.
No, but even by relatively, that was a good mark.
Oh, sure.
Or not? 150. Did it compare? No.
According to my preparation, I think the mark
No,
justified
what I
it.
mean is, other candidates who made it, compared to them, 150 is a good performance or not?
Yes, sir, it was.
It was a good.
Yes, sir, it was.
Good. So no issue there. So I'm sure you have done well in the written this time. Have you bettered your performance, or it's more or less the same?
No,
Written.
sir, I had worked really hard, so that should show in the results.
Oh, so yeah. Only thing is, I think you are very deep. Your conceptualization is very good. Analytical skills are very good. But situational. First of, when a member is trying to engage you the way I did on a current topic, you are right. You are going in. That means you are definitely endorsing whatever is happening on the ground. Whatever is happening on the ground has a purpose. But then, I'm just telling you
Yes, sir.
what is in my mind. At some stage, what started off as a genuine agitation of the student community, particularly the medical community,
Yes, sir.
for justice for Abhaya, and also the collateral issue of safety and security, for, especially for women. That is a genuine issue, genuine agitation, genuine stakeholders. But as it lingered on, other vested interests came in, politics came in.
Yes, sir.
That is probably what the member is trying to say. But you are not giving in. This is some tips to you.
Sir, I have been, last time I was asked to not bring in politics. So
No. But even as a discourse, see, one of the members is engaging you. You are not expected to agree with you. I am not saying that, not at all. But that you take it logically. Okay, your stand appears to be, apparently, I hope it is not. Yes, sir, it is a case to fight for and we agitate for, but you are not giving it a closure. That is a point that the member is trying to drive at.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are justified. But how long are you? I was giving hint also. So, according to you, or apparently, it is endless. It is worth fighting for it and dying for it endlessly. You get the point. See what is happening in East Bengal. What was East Bengal?
at one stage it became a mobocracy. Mobs took over. You may say it's a democracy, win of democracy and all, but all said and done, mobs dictated. Police were attacked, police were killed, police deserted, they set fire to the police station, military took over. The danger is always there, because you have to draw a line somewhere,
Yes, sir.
isn't it?
I do believe in that.
That was the point that probably the member was expecting from you. I was trying to see a closure to the tissue, you left it open, not saying how long it will take.
Sir, truthfully, in my mind, for that issue, I do not know any closure. I know that some kind of anarchy might be creeping in with the way the police are being attacked. A genuine agitation might turn into something violent, that I agree. But this is a very sensitive issue, and I do believe that the justice should be served here. So I do not.
How? I agree.
I do not know how, and so I don't know.
No, that is the situation thing. Look here. But what is happening here? Sorry, I may take some time. What is happening here is, we appreciate it. You genuinely empathize.
Yes, sir.
Empathy is there in full abundant measure. Good quality of a public servant. But probably what is happening is, you are allowing your emotion to cloud your judgment.
Yes.
That danger is always there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But sir, I differ. One should be neutral in answering. The way she answered, it is better not to take political side, not to suggest a solution.
I agree.
In sociology, we don't go for a solution. We say they let the course natural end, and at one point of time, maybe government, maybe civil rights movement will come in. So why the student should say suggest a suggestion end? No. I differ.
No, what I mean is, we are on
In social sciences, we do not conclude.
Fine.
We leave it to the society.
What I meant to be.
This is very politically sensitive. Why should she be barged in? No. She was given a neutral
I agree
answer.
with you, sir.
Sir,
I agree.
that is my opinion. No, politically she should be neutral.
We are.
And she has deliberately avoided it. Not that she didn't know. You ask her.
I agree with you. There is no difference.
Ah.
There is no difference. The point is, what I had in mind is the practical aspect of the agitation continuing.
But sir, can you suggest any end to any agitation? No. Agitation has its own course.
Therefore, we need that Calcutta will continue to burn.
No, you never know. It may stop tomorrow even.
No,
How can you
may.
say? Why can I say it won't stop? There is no hypothetical solution to these issues. No predictability.
What I am saying is, I do agree.
Sir, I am a student of social movements. So I know the pros and cons of movements.
No,
I can give you.
What I mean is, I agree. I have a lot of respect. But the point is, situation means you are asked to place yourself in the position of a public servant.
Sir, you are talking about a policeman. Like a policeman, you say it must stop, must
I
now.
agree with you.
It is not for a social scientist. No.
No, fine.
Sir, I believe that here the position of an
Okay, let me
administrative
reframe it
should
with
be,
due respect to the professor. Let me reframe it. Supposing you were the DGP there.
Yes.
Supposing you are the, or one further, you are the Chief Minister there. Supposing you are the Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court. And supposing you are the Chief Justice of India. Incidentally, all these figures have come into the picture. And the Chief Justice himself requesting, please don't agitate anymore, go back. You remember? So in this situation, it is a hypothetical situational question posed to the possible civil servant. I have come to that point. No more hypothetical. If you were in that situation, any other situation, what would you do?
Sir, if I am a civil servant, I would try my best. The genuine agitation does not escalate into violence, but to stop the peaceful protesters, that I would not.
How long? Let me be precise now. How long you should think it should go on?
If people are protesting peacefully,
People means who?
the citizens,
No,
not
everybody-
the mob. If it is inciting violence, if it is coming to the point of anarchy because they are inciting violence there, then I will come into the
I
picture.
would,
But if
no,
people are
I'll
protesting
stop here. I
peacefully,
would like to reflect over what is the import of this question.
what is the import of this question? You think about it. I'm not saying take a political side at all. No political
Sir, I
side.
am confused as well. I also want
The
a closure,
question is
but I
not
do
a
not know.
No, no,
it.
Closure is
inside-
never
no,
predicted.
I'm not
In
talking.
social situations,
No, no, no,
there is
I'm-
no prediction to any event.
Yes,
As a social scientist,
Correct.
I'll not agree that today or tomorrow or when, nobody knows.
No, no.
And
Only the
hypothetical
entire
questions,
justice-
hypothetical
When-
questions do not have any
Because-
answer.
No, no. This justice is an abstract concept. When you say we want justice, I'm not saying that to bring a closer to the issue. I'm talking about the agitation and all the impact on the productivity, on everything. All that it connotes, your band, your agitation, and if it is going to be an endless agitation, issue will not die down. I'm not talking about the issue. I'm not talking about the issue of justice. That is endless, that is permanent. I am talking about what is happening on the ground. And as a civil servant, how would you persuade them?
Of course.
And what does it imply? It means institutional faith. Losing faith in the institution is a dangerous thing. That is where I was drawing your attention to what is happening next door. When they lost faith in the institution, particularly when the Supreme Court itself has come into the picture, monitoring it, asking for reports, and then said, no, we will not stop it.
Sir, behind all this, there is also another thing. It is the continuous agitation. We need to understand why there are continuous agitation. Somewhere, people fear that this issue will be forgotten. That is where they're not. That is why they are
And
not
therefore,
leaving it.
no, I agree. So the people think that somewhere, incidentally, the students have withdrawn the agitation. People think that this will die down, and therefore we will go on agitating. We will not trust the state government. We will not trust the central government. We will not trust the judiciary, including. Don't you think this is exactly the situation where we are heading towards, like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh?
Might be, sir. Might
See, no opinionated answer. This will again lead to controversies. You cannot face the interview in the right spirit.
Yes.
My advice is, the way you have answered, that was all right. Do not take stand. Do not predict when, how, why not now, why judiciary is not being respected, why police is not acting. That's not the case. Social events have its own course. They will die naturally at one point of time.
I agree, sir.
We must agree. We must not predict. With iron hand, we must stop it here. Then it will lead to further violence.
Yes, sir. I agree. That
Bengal is a sensitive border state.
Good. You have found a kindred soul. Very nice. But reflect upon it. Okay.
I will, sir.
Good. So you are a wonderful candidate, Rashmi. You have a lot of depth.
Sir, just one thing, not on this. So, you are from agriculture. There is an organization, Women in Agriculture. What is the function of that organization, Women in Agriculture? Is there anything unique about?
Sir, I have seen a branch in Bhubaneswar.
There is a branch in Bhubaneswar, headquarters is at Delhi, close to JNU campus.
Sir,
But
I
what
do
is
not
that
know the
organization
main
and what for?
agenda, but I think they are trying to do these days, sir. I do not know it, but I can make a guess. Sir, these days we are seeing feminization in agriculture. I believe
Yes.
some 18% of the farm households are headed by women, and with the increasing migration that we are seeing, again there is this change that the agriculture is becoming more feminine. And if the women there are not given the power to make decisions, they are not technologically empowered to do smart agriculture, then it will be a problem. So I think it might be working towards that cause to empower.
Probably at this stage you need to give some examples so that it becomes convincing that how that organization can bring in women into the focus of the agricultural programs. Try to capture the
That is one impact of globalization. Feminine labor is an impact of globalization. I didn't reflect on that anyway.
The modern way of looking at agriculture, keeping women in the forefront, you must have to give some examples. Then only it will be very convincing. Yes, this is a program where women is empowered to participate in agricultural activities at an advantage than the man. Or women are being brought into the mainstream of agriculture through these programs. So like this you have to find out something, and that maybe somebody may crack. This was a question with the board last year.
I will read about it, sir. But I think Mission Shakti and the Odisha Millet Mission, these can help in forming women SHGs, and then because millet is the new future for tomorrow, I think these can go hand in hand. But I will read about some.
That what programs are promoted through this organization to empower women in agriculture. That will be the best possible answer for you. Because there were last time some experts were there from agriculture, and there were a lot of questions on agriculture in the board. Okay, I think sir, you can go.
Any questions from your side?
Sir, there is just one question. Sir, it is a very basic question, but the last time I had gone to the interview, I had worn a salwar, and most of the candidates, I had worn a Sambalpuri salwar, and most of the candidates, I mean 98% of the people had worn sari. So I was a little nervous ki maybe.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I am not used to
You are
wearing
comfortable
sari.
in salwar.
You are
means
not
go
used
with
to
salwar.
it. If you are not used to it, then don't. Then you don't.
Salwar sari doesn't make any
matter.
difference in interview. No.
Actually, most of them.
That is
just
they are thinking. Ki if you go with sari, you will be given more. No, not at all.
But I can be confident that I will wear salwar. and
Yes,
still
yes.
That is good.
You wear a dress
You
when
must
you
be
are comfortable.
properly, decently dressed. That's all.
Yes.
Not sari, not salwar, etc.
I think a Sambalpuri salwar will do.
Yes, that will do.
It must be with a formal dress, decent looking,
Bas.
pleasant to look
And
at,
comfortable in your dress.
Yes, sir.
Bas.
and you are comfortable also.
But since you have raised the question, we are right, absolutely. You should, if you are going to feel inconvenient, uncomfortable, don't. But there could be an answer. If you do wear, supposing, it could enhance in the perception of someone. That is also there as a collateral.
Earlier there was. The sari gives, but these days, society and thinkings, they're changing. So salwar is also good, but must be decent, must be comfortable. That is actually required.
I'll try wearing.
Also, and formal
If you
Not
try,
formal.
because you don't know the date. There's a lot of time. If your mother can help you, because sari generally, of course, taste differ, perception differ, but general consensus is sari enhances the
Sir,
perception.
going by her height and structure, she should go with salwar and
No.
my opinion. If she is tall, if she is
No,
hefty,
because
then
you
sari.
have raised the question, you have raised it. You have not raised it, we are not going to.
Yes,
See,
yes.
there are different.
My
In other
opinion-
words, sir will appreciate it. Another member, so you
No.
cannot satisfy.
Tall, thoda bulky, then sari. You go with the
I will
sari,
look
so
shorter.
drowning in the sari. And you might not be comfortable. in
That's
10
not
days
the
till
criteria.
sari.
That's not the
Better
criteria.
ask your father.
Criteria.
See, here opinion, because all sudden, your mother, see, what matters is your father's opinion. Consult him. And if your mother is going to make you comfortable, my submission would be go in a sari if possible. But if you are feeling uncomfortable, don't.
In my
That will be a
opinion,
disaster.
In my opinion, don't try any adventurism. Go comfortably with your salwar. No new
I agree.
adventures.
If it is going to be an adventure, it will be misadventure. I agree
Because
there.
in 10 days time, you cannot be comfortable with a sari. So don't try that.
Tankara mind re, had I worn sari, would I have got 5 marks
No.
more? That
No.
doubt is there.
Yes,
You are
that-
you are the best person to address it.
Board people
Ask-
have become progressive by now. Earlier it was there, but now they are progressive.
I will reflect on it, sir. But thank you.
Most
for
of
the
them board members always use salwar with us, we have seen. On that day they might come in sari. So they don't take it that way.
Wonderful, Rashmita. Huh?
Roshni, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's excellent. I am sure you have done better in your
This time we will be
return. We expect to see you in the top. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.